is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
First reading. A reading from the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 4 to 12. I, John, heard a voice from heaven speak to me. Here are my two witnesses. These are the two olive trees and the two lampstands that stand before the Lord of the earth. If anyone wants to harm them, fire comes out of their mouths and devours their enemies. In this way, anyone wanting to harm them is sure to be slain. They have the power to close up the sky so that no rain can fall during the time of their prophesying. They also have power to turn water into blood and to afflict the earth with any plague as often as they wish. When they have finished their testimony, the beast that comes up from the abyss will wage war against them and conquer them and kill them. Their corpses will lie in the main street of the great city, which has the symbolic names Sodom and Egypt, where indeed their Lord was crucified. Those from every people, tribe, tongue, and nation will gaze on their corpses for 3.5 days, and they will not allow their corpses to be buried. The inhabitants of the earth will gloat over them and be glad and exchange gifts, because these two prophets tormented the inhabitants of the earth. But the 3.5 days, a breath of life from God entered them. When they stood on their feet, great fear fell on those who saw them. Then they heard a loud voice from heaven say to them, "Come up here." So they went up to heaven in a cloud as their enemies looked on. This is the word of the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 20, verses 27 to 40. Some Sadducees, those who deny that there is a resurrection, came forward and put his question to Jesus, saying, "Teacher, Moses wrote for us, if someone's brother dies leaving a wife but no child, his brother must take the wife and raise up descendants for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers. The first married a woman but died childless. Then the second and the third married her, and likewise all the 7 died childless. Finally the woman also died. Now at the resurrection, whose wife will that woman be? For all 7 had been married to her." Jesus said to them, "The children of this age marry and remarry. But those who are deemed worthy to attain to the coming age and to the resurrection of the dead, neither marry nor are given in marriage. They can no longer die, for they are like angels, and they are the children of God, because they are the ones who will rise, that the dead will rise. Even Moses made known in the passage about the bush, when he called, 'Lord, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.' And he is not God of the dead, but of the living, for to him all are alive." Some of the scribes said in reply, "Teacher, you have answered well." And they no longer dared to ask him anything. This is the gospel of the Lord.
There is a good news for us to embrace at the beginning of this day, my brothers and sisters. Whether to embrace God as God of the living or to look at Jesus or God as God of the dead. This was the problem of the Sadducees. They never understood the meaning of life after death. They had no grace to accept the fact that we are heavenly designed, eternal people. They even misunderstood the life after death, my brothers and sisters. We need to believe, therefore, the final words of Jesus. He says, believe in the God of living. The culture of death, my brothers and sisters, destroying this whole world. The wars, the civil, national and international struggles. For example, all these other issues by which the culture of death is being promoted is dangerous. Do you know, my brothers and sisters, it is shocking to know that only in Sri Lanka, every day there are 1,800 unborn babies are being killed, persecuted inside their mother's womb. Sometimes we enter into a struggle fighting against all these political and other sources, seeking justice for 269 people who were killed during this attack. 269 people killed. But do you know that there are 1,800 unborn babies are being killed every day in this blessed piece of land? People have lost the meaning of life. They are encouraging the culture of death. And where there is death, there is darkness. My brothers and sisters, good for us to understand the biblical meaning of the word death, that is mavet. The meaning of the word mavet is separation from the life giver. If you are separated from the life giver, that is God, you are already a dead person, already a dead. You may walk around, you may eat and drink, but if you are not connected to the Father, if you are not in union with Jesus, the life giver, you are simply a dead man, a dead man. On a day like this, my brothers and sisters, let us reject fully this culture of death, Satan, the God of the death, and embrace Jesus, the life giver. O Jesus, be united to us and give us your life eternal. Amen.